Okay, it's a week to Purim, so we're going to start learning the next few days the dinim of Purim. Starting with this Shabbos. This Shabbos is what's called Parsha Zachar. Now, there's four Parshas. You have Shkolim, Zachar, Para, and Chodesh. Most opinions, and that's what the Alter Rebbe holds, that Parsha Zachar is Min HaTorah. Many people say Parshas Para is Min HaTorah. If the Alter Rebbe comes out, it's not Min HaTorah, it's only Vaad Rabbonim. But anyway, what does it mean like this? Bottom line is, it's an obligation on every man to go to shul to listen to Parsha Zachar, this Shabbos, which is the Haftarah, the Maftir, of remembering what Amalek did. If somebody, for whatever reason, cannot make it to shul the Shabbos, for whatever reason, so then, al pidin, they could be Yetzer, Purim morning with the Kriya Satira of Purim, because it's also a similar Kriya Bad Amalek. So Poskim write that if you can't listen to Parsha Zachar this Shabbos, so then you listen to Purim Shabbos morning. Now, the question is, what about women when it comes to Parsha Zachar? So I know in many places they go crazy with the women running to shul with separate minyanim and lebreya. They have a whole thing with Parsha Zachar there. The Peil, it's a machlekes in halacha if women are obligated in Parsha Zachar. Rabbi Yosef Adler was the Rebbe of the Chassam Sefer. He held that women have to hear Parsha Zachar. He told all the women in his house to go to Parsha Zachar. The Rebbe mentioned many times in those years that, like, the minig is that women go to shul for Parsha Zachar. But the Rebbe didn't say that women are obligated in Parsha Zachar. The Rebbe stated the fact that women go to Kriya Satira for Parsha Zachar. The Pearl, the Teres Chesed, who is its Talmud of the Tzemach Tzedek, has a tshuva. It's brought down all over the place. And he writes, Me'elam le'shemaynu, we never heard of such a thing. And this that they say in the name of somebody, Rabbi Yosef Adler, that who said it's true. I'll never forget, I was in Koilel. In my house, my father used to make the women go to Parsha Zachar. The women should go to Parsha Zachar. So I'm sitting in Koilel with my Chavrusa after I got married. We're sitting in Koilel, and he was a grandson of Rabbi Simpson, who was a very Chassidish family. He was a Chayzer of the Rebbe Rashab. And I said to him, where's your wife going for Parsha Zachar? He said, what, Parsha Zachar, women? Never in his grandfather's house, it never existed. So we went over to the Zalman Shimon Dvorkin, who was the Lubavitch Rav. He was the head of the Koilel then. And we asked him. He started laughing. He said, what? Takat Shainik, women are not obligated in Parsha Zachar. The Rebbe stated the fact that women go to Parsha Zachar. It started a new thing. And if they want to go to shul, let them go to shul. But you can't say that women are obligated in Parsha Zachar. If they want to go to Parsha Zachar, it's very nice. It's better than sleeping in bed or doing other things. Okay, that's as far as Parsha Zachar. So bottom line is, what? Why? You mean, why are they mechuyev? It's a whole shaila b'chlal. Some poskim hold that this that we read it this week is not Min HaTorah. You have to read once a year Parsha Zachar. In fact, there are poskim that say when there's a leap year that you have 13 months, you should read something in a Chumash Parsha Zachar a month earlier. That you shouldn't have 12 months without it. But he says, what's the various reason? Yeah, I know. Some people, whatever. There's a bunch of poskim that hold you have to. He brings on over here. The Marshal, the Minchas Chinuch holds. There's a lot of people that hold you have to. And Teres Chesed and a lot of poskim hold you don't have to. And in Lubavitch, the women in Europe didn't go to shul for Parsha Zachar. That was for sure. Okay, next. But you have to make sure to hear Parsha Zachar every word. And in fact, there's a very interesting shaila. Poskim talk about a kid is bar mitzvah. It happens a lot, by the way. A kid is becoming bar mitzvah this Shabbos, and he's reading Parshas Vayikra. Should the bar mitzvah kid who's just 13 read Parsha Zachar or not? So they write, even though Al Pi Din, once a kid is 13, he has a chazak of being an adult, that he has puberty with the 2 hairs and everything, and therefore you would be able to daven for the Yom, you count him a minion and all that. But many poskim write, kid 13 should not read Parsha Zachar. Why? Because it's min ha-Torah, and maybe, he's not halachically a godly. You want to ask something? Okay, next. What? The Maisa what? Somebody asked me this year, I said it's better if an adult, over 18 should read it. Or not, somebody has a beard already, then there's not a shaila at all. Okay, next. Next Wednesday is Tainus Esther. Now, we just mentioned last night by the class about, Tainus Esther. By the way, it's the only fast that we fast not mentioned in Tanakh. All the other fasts are mentioned in Tanakh. The only one that's not mentioned is Tainus Esther. Even though in the Megillah it says that Esther told him to fast 3 days, that was Pesach time. There's nothing to do with this. It says in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch from the Rambam, why do we fast Tainus Esther? Because they learn now from the Melchama of Amalek about Moshe, Aaron, and Hur. It says when the Jews went to war, the Jews that stayed behind fasted to daven for the welfare of the soldiers, that they should win the war. So the people that stayed home fasted. So in Kitzi says, because the Jews went to war on Yud Gimel, that's when the decree was, right? They fought on the 13th and rested on the 14th, so we have Purim on the 14th. So they write that Mistama, most probably the Jews that were left at home, fasted. So therefore, there's a minig that out of Purim, people fast. It's mentioned in Halacha.
Why Hanukkah there's no fast?
Huh? Because Hanukkah was only the Maccabees and their sons. It wasn't every Klal Yisrael. So there's an interesting question. So the Rebbe asked, why is it called Tainus Esther? So symbolically they say because Esther initiated the fast for 3 days later, so this is called Tainus Esther. But the Rebbe has a very interesting answer why this one's called Tainus Esther. And the Rebbe said, what we just mentioned, that the people that stayed at home fasted to daven for the welfare of the soldiers. The din was, though, soldiers are not allowed to fast because they're fighting. They need to have strength. They're not allowed to fast. So the Rebbe says, in the time of Purim, who was the decree against? Men, women, and children. Everybody had to fight to defend themselves. Every single Jew was fighting. The decree was against every single Jew, except one. The only Jew that was safe was Esther in the palace. So therefore, the only Jew that ended up fasting was Esther to fast for all the Jews that were going to war. So therefore, the Rebbe writes, it's called Tainus Esther. Very interesting answer. Okay, anyway, but what's important about Tainus Esther is, like pregnant women, nursing women, they don't have to fast. People that are not well don't have to fast. In morning, you have Aneinu, you have Sliches, you have Avinu Malkeinu. Now, even though the fast technically, LA time would be over, let's say 7:35, because then we changed the clock. Yeah, nevertheless, you're not allowed to break your fast until you hear the Megillah. Even if you're not going to hear the Megillah right away, you're going to hear the Megillah later, you still need to fast until the end of the Megillah. It says the Baal Kodesh, if he needs to, could take a drink, a little bit. But generally speaking, you have to fast until after the Megillah is read. Huh? Yeah, because it's a chelek of the culmination of the fast, is the Megillah. Now, Tainus Esther, okay, so Shachris is a fast day, Tainus, it's Slichas, the Kriyas HaTorah, the works. And Tainus Esther before Mincha, we give Machzis a shekel. You have to give a half a shekel. Half a shekel halachically means you have to give half of a coin, which is half of the currency of that country. In other words, the currency in America is $1, so you have to give a half $1. But you can't give 2 quarters or 5 dimes or 50 pennies, like the first million. You have to give a coin called half $1. In Israel, it would be half a shekel. In Europe, it would be half a euro. But you have to give a coin that on it, because it says in halacha, what happens if there's no half of the currency of your country? You have to give a coin in the neighboring country that has a coin that's half. The minhag is to give 3 half dollars, because it says 3 times the word truma, and the Gemara learns out there was 3. In time of the Bais Din, you only gave 1. But when we give time in machzis a shekel, the minhag is you give 3 half dollars. So what you do is, and now, there are people that want to say it's better if it's silver, but it's not mentioned in halacha. It doesn't have to be.
Opinion of Ben. Why would it be?
Opinion of Ben is a different story.
I'm saying it's not opinion of Ben.
Right.
With the silver reference here.
Because in the time of the Bais Din, it was silver.
It says currency of the land.
I know. In halacha, it doesn't say. You look in Shulchan Aruch, Poskim, it doesn't say. Some people write, it's better that it's silver. But halachically it has to be 3 half dollars.
So it's better to give $10 million. I mean, like, it's always better. Right?
It depends where.
Right. Well,
9145 Wilshire.
what if
Well, by the way, 9145 will come and pick it up. You don't have to save the stamp.
And we have vaults to keep it.
Yeah.
What if you can't find a half dollar?
In America, you mean?
I'm saying you go to the bank and say, we don't have.
Okay, but all shuls have. I have probably 50, 100 half dollar.
Why does it just put?
No, so in the shul they have a thing for machzis a shekel with a bunch of half dollars, and you put in $1.50. You take out 3 half dollars and you put it back in. Now, the machlekes in halacha, if you give for the women and the kids, the Vaad Rebbe writes, the Friedrich Rebbe used to give machzis a shekel for the women and kids also. Once you start giving, you have to continue giving. Okay, you can't just.
I have a question on that. When you give to the women and the kids, do you have in mind with yours, or you should exchange it like again?
No, you should do it.
Again, meaning like.
Each one needs 3 half dollars.
Right. Meaning to say, if I walk up to the pushka, right? So I put $1.50 in for me. I take it, put it back in.
Put in $1.50 for your wife, and then for your kids.
Do it once and say, I had a.
No. It's per person.
Right. Nobody like even if you gave the money. I'm talking about the
No, you have to do 3.
You only lift it once. Why do people do it 3 times? Once, right?
You know, I've seen that done. Everybody does it 3 times. Number 1, it's not mentioned anywhere. Number 2, once you put it in, it's the pushkas. What are you taking it out? You're stealing and putting it back in. I mean, I don't know. I've seen it from the time I'm a kid.
I pay $4.50.
You pay $4.50 per person.
You go like that. You have to lift it.
You know what? Please come here to this show. It's like, first of all, once you put it in, it's the pushkas. How can you take it out and do it again?
Well, if you have in mind you're going to do 2 more.
So then put in $4.50 like this guy does.
You have to go. You need to go this way. You have to go upward. You raise your hand.
No, you just take it and put it back in. You pick it up, it's yours, and then. Okay. Now, Tainus Esther. So before Mincha, you give machzis a shekel. If you're not able to do it before Mincha, you could either do it before Megillah reading, or in Kel Chabad it says you should give it during the day because people don't give tzedakah at night. But in other poskim it says you could do it either at night before Megillah reading. No, the minhag is either before Mincha or on Purim.
So you see before Mincha after Chatzos, if you have to pick a time.
Yeah, if you're doing before Mincha, it should be after Chatzos. Anytime that you're able to daven Mincha already. Now again, at Mincha there is Aneinu Kriyas HaTorah, Kriyas HaTorah, Aneinu Vinu Malkeinu. Now, no, I'm sorry. No, this year, because it's Erev Purim, my mind was jumping. Because it's Erev Purim, there's no Tachnun at Mincha, and therefore there's no Vinu Malkeinu. But when Purim is Sunday, that you fast the Thursday before, So then Thursday, at Tainis Esther, there is Avinu Tachnun and Avinu Malkeinu. But because it's Erev Purim, and the Rebbe writes clearly that, the Rebbe said a whole sikh about that any time there's no Tachnun, there's no Avinu Malkeinu. Anenu, yeah. Anenu, you say it regardless. Okay, just one more din. B'chlal Purim is brought down in halacha, in Shulchan Aruch it's brought down. You should really wear Bigdei Shabbos for Purim. Then you get dressed up, but there's a lot of interesting shilas about costumes. Can a boy wear a girl's costume? Well, boy costume is still geved. Does it apply? Not wearing the opposite gender's clothing. But anyway, custom is not too, by the way. Huh? Ramah says clearly you have to be careful, but there are other people that want to say it could be makel a little bit, but no.
Well, it's going to be a lunch lady now.
But now it's normal now.
Huh?
Now it's becoming normal.
Yeah, if you're a cross dresser, by the way,